Thank you. Thank you. Oh my God, was that? And I've got to follow that? I don't know. I don't know. But I love that song because I just thought, gosh, yeah, I mean, the words, when the sharpest words want to cut me down, I'm going to send a flood, going to drown them out. Boy, is that powerful? Because what happens a lot of times is we believe that. Or we think, oh my God, and we take that in. And then it starts to limit us. But I am brave. I am bruised. Have we all been bruised? Mm-hmm. Right? We've all had some bruises in our life. I am whom I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, because here I come. I love that in the movie. Remember The Greatest Showman? This is me, and he came running down, And that's how we should live. That's fun. That's living your life out loud, living who you are and not making excuses or what. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me. So now I'm going to switch to the Bible. But I came across an explanation of this, and this is a story of Abraham. But I think it's powerful for us to know this story. So you know the story of Abraham. God came to Abraham and told him he had to show his love and his love for God. He had to kill his own son, sacrifice his son. And Abraham's like, well, God, I'll do anything you want. But so Abraham was crushed. This was his only son, which God had given to him as a gift because he was old. His wife was old. She was barren. And this Isaac was his life, and that thing about, no child should go before their parent. And he's got to be the one to kill his son. And so he planned the trip and had his entourage together, and they had to go up this mountain, and they were going to an area where they sacrificed lambs. It was a very sacred area. And so Abraham is just devastated. I mean, can you imagine you get this order from God to kill your only child? And so he's at the end of the group because he's weeping. He's literally weeping because he knows what's coming. And he's picturing it up there, and he's just weeping. And then at night, when they would get to their campsite the first night, and he literally would just, after, the niceties of dinner and stuff, he would literally just go and clump and get in a ball and sob. And he would think, okay, God, I know that there's a lesson here for me, but please, please take this. I don't understand this. Why? And he would be begging God to change this. And he would hear this message, be still and know that I am God. And he goes, yeah, I'm still, and I know you're God, but this is not changing anything. And he was really in a turmoil. And the next day, they're going up again, and the same thing. And at night, this was the second night, and he's there again, and he's in this heap. And please, I know that there's a message here for me, but I don't know what it is. And please make it different. And again, be still and know I am God. Be still and know I am God. Okay, yeah. And then on the third night, he said, please, he did the whole thing happen again. But this time when be still and know I am God. And he got it, that he is God. And I am part of God. And therefore, I have the power to create what I want. So he started visioning a celebration up at the top of the mountain, not the assassination. He had the power to create what he wanted. Be still and know I am God. He got the I am is me. I am part of that. So the next day, he was at the front of the line. He had his son on his shoulders, and he's running up there, and they had a big celebration. And so I just think that's such a great message for all of us. The I am was his signal. It was a message within a message. Okay, so I want you to remember that as we're talking about the fun in your life. My slide, William, my first slide. I love this. You know what? I get so many great things off of Facebook. This is from Facebook. I think there's some really clever things. I am gooder. I've been badder, many times thinner, lots of times fatter. There's stuff I remember and stuff I forget, but I've always been me. And what you sees is what you get. Right? And that has always been me. I mean, I look back on my life, and I didn't really argue with people. If people would say things to me, I go, oh, that's ridiculous, and I'd roll my eyes, but I wouldn't buy into it. When I first started working, I was in banking. Okay, I was the one who checked your credit at Bank of America. Was my first. Well, I had a job at Ralph's. My very first job, I ran the snack bar. And I loved that job. I was there for years. I mean, even after I graduated high school, I stayed until I went off to school. But I loved that job. That's how I am. If I love a job, I stay forever. If I don't like it, But anyway, so I've always been this person that if I wasn't happy at my job, and at Bank of America, I saw unfair, it would really irritate me. I had this woman who was my supervisor who trained me, and she'd been with Bank of America forever, okay, and she knew everything. And yet, some guy comes in from college, and he has a degree, and she's training him for a job where he's going to be making way more money than her. And things like that would bug me. So, quit that job. And I said, no, can't do this. And my husband was so sweet. He said, why don't you just take the summer off? You've been working since you were 16. And I go, yeah, okay. A month in, I'm like, I can't. This staying home isn't for me. So I got another job with a wonderful bank, loved it. So one day I was working, and I was in charge of the loan department. When the auditors would come, all they could find wrong with my department was I had too many staples in my files. Okay. And, but anyway, we got this new manager, and he came in, and he's going, one day, and he got the job because he was a principal in high school, but his brother-in-law was VP at the bank, okay? And so anyway, he came in, and he didn't know anything about banking, and I'd ask him questions, and I go, okay. Anyway, but one day the bank wasn't open. I was sitting there, and I know you've heard my laugh, and I have a cackle. I admit it. But this is me, okay? And so my assistant, we were talking about our weekend, and she was telling me about some party, and I was laughing, and the bank's not open yet. And he walks by and he goes, hey, stop laughing, And I go, okay, and I'm thinking he's joking. And I just tell him more, and we're both typing and looking at each other, and we're still laughing. He said, didn't I tell you to stop laughing? And right there it was over. It's like, didn't laugh, barely talked, and because I'm not going to let somebody tell me who I am. And none of us should do that. None of us should do that. We don't have to argue with somebody, and I don't think that solves anything. But either forgive everything, and I forgive him. I thank him, because that's what made me go into court reporting. I said, I'm going to be my own boss someday. I want to do something where I can treat people the way I would want to be treated. And that's what I've done my whole life since then. And so I'm grateful for that. But this is what you get. Our next one, William. You either get bitter or you get better. It's that simple. You either take what has been dealt to you and allow it to make you a better person, or you allow it to tear you down. The choice does not belong to fate. It belongs to you. Right? So there are no victims in our teaching. Right? There are no victims here. Yeah, crappy things happen. I'm not saying that when you come here, it's like, oh, kumbaya, life is wonderful, everything is perfect. That's not life. That's not like, I heard something, I think it was Alan Watts. I was listening to him, and he talked about this. He said, I want you, we have all these different, whatever faith, if you came into some, we have this vision. If I was brought up Catholic, so this vision of God, and Jesus and everything, and those are wonderful. But when you think of God as this being somewhere with a checklist and, okay, that's not God. God is that divine, God is love. God is that divine energy. And so the way Alan Watts described it, he said, imagine the whole universe is this ball, and there's all these little dots looking out. Those dots are you. You are the one creating a reality, your reality, based on who you are, what you see, what you believe. But then you're contributing to the whole ball. You are part of that whole ball. You have the power. Now, you're not everything. You're your little whole, but you are creating and you are affecting the whole. So I want you to remember that, how powerful you are. Remember that. I love when those of you who are not taking BODs or who did not take CPR, I'm telling you, you're missing out, because it's not about the weight. It's not even about the prosperity. It is about really getting control of who you know you are. And you're planting those seeds of, what do I believe? What do I want? Because what I want, I have to claim it and go for it. Okay? Yes, things are going to happen. Things have happened. I've had things happen in my life. We all have. But what do you learn? It was like Abraham. What is there here for me to learn? You don't, like Dr. Tom would say, in hard times, you don't have to go, although I go through the valley of death, I don't have to stop here and build a condo. Right? And so don't stop. Go through. What is it I need to learn here? What is it that I can take away to make me better, to make me stronger, to make me who I want to be? This is helping me. My next slide, please. I love Einstein had some really good quotes. There are two ways to live your life. One is though nothing is a miracle. The other is though everything is a miracle. I mean, the fact that we are even here is a miracle. You are each one of, I'm talking to a room of gods. Ye are God. We are all, and we're all one. Our consciousness is connecting in this big ball. So what you think about, what you put out there, yes, there are irritating things that come up in our life, but take a breath. Why are you giving that the power? Claim your power. And my next one, I love this. What you see is what you get. That's my talk title, right? What you see is what you get. And I love that, because that's it. Do you see yourself as this little kitty, or are you this tiger? And I don't mean that tiger in the sense of, I'm going to get you. I just mean that, don't limit yourself. Don't limit who you think you are, because you are so much more, and you can have it all, whatever it is you want. And that's the fun of life, not coulda, shoulda, wouldas. We can all, I'm sure everyone here has a story of, if only I had done this, I would do. You can't say that, because you don't know if you went down that path, what might have happened. What might have happened that would even be worse, or something really horrific. So what you see is what you get. And so be that, live your life, know that power, set your intentions, and don't just wish it. You've got to see it, you've got to feel it, you've got to know that this is a truth, that you just haven't reached it yet. That's all. That's all. Your fears, your doubts will keep you away. There'll be those barriers because what you put, it's like if you hope for something, if you want something, the universe gives you that feeling of wanting. Okay, this will happen. No, this is happening. You've got, in fact, today in BODS, somebody made an affirmation. It says, I will have a healthy body, or whatever the affirmation was. And Dr. James right away, no, it cannot be I will. I have a healthy body. I am healthy. I am prosperous. Not things that are going to come. And so do that. Do those affirmations. For something that you want, do an affirmation. Do affirmations as though it is here, it is now. This is you right here, right now. Okay? My last slide. I think it's my last. And this is mine. When I get old, I don't want people thinking, oh, what a sweet little old lady. I want them saying, oh, dear, what's she up to now? And that's what I want for you. What are you up to now? Live life big. This is you. Be proud of who you are. Be proud of all the years. If you don't say, oh, I'm 71, I can't do that anymore. BS. That's not my belief system. And that's what BS stands for, belief system. Don't let that be your belief system. Be strong. Claim it. Remember, you are God. I love my favorite one. All of them. Love only. Absolutely. Forgive everything. Still working on that one. But the remember who you are. Remember who you are. That is so important every moment, every day, to remember who you are. And don't give a darn what other people think of you. What does it matter what they think of you? It's what you think of you. So live bold, live loud, have fun. We were meant here to be fun. And just every day look at the glorious gifts in your life and live from that sense of appreciation. Namaste. Thank you.
Ah, that was awesome.